Hello and welcome to the Blue House Bull Session. Back with you, bulling on this beautiful April 2nd. Man, what a day. What a day. What a day yesterday. Did you know yesterday was April Fool's Day?
No, I had no idea.
With everything that's been going on in the world recently, it is very easy to kind of gather that we all decided to skip it this year. I mean, there are a couple perfunctory ones, but I think people are realizing that everything being on fire is not the time to make jokes in poor taste.
Two things. One, I think it's partially just, yes, the world is on fire, so yeah. But I think April Fool's Day is starting to go the way of Black Friday, where we have enough information at our literal fingertips all the time that
it's really tough to make a joke that you can't verify one way or the other right away. Yeah.
Or just be offended by.
Yeah.
A lot of people jokes have gotten too accurate. They're no longer just funny. They're personalized and biting.
Yeah.
And it's easy to cross a line. And so a lot of people just don't, for fear of you don't know what's going to offend somebody.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's slowly fading out. It's like it will be a thing. Like, it will exist, but I don't think it'll.
I miss ThinkGeek. Every year I miss ThinkGeek at this time for that reason.
Linus Tech Tips.
Yeah.
They usually do a thing, and they made a. What did they actually call it? The thirst extinguisher.
Ooh.
They made their water bottle. They made a water bottle in the style of a fire extinguisher.
Nice.
And it sold out in
record
seconds.
time. Yeah. You know who else
and
does a pretty amazing one?
What?
Mojang. Did you see the Minecraft Easter eggs or April Fool's snapshot?
No.
Craft Mine, where you collect ingredients from each world to bring back to a central hub to make the next world. It's got a progression system. It's got custom world generation in-game. It's basically what I was trying to do with my adventure pack. And entrances and exits. You come into the world, you go mine for a while, you bring stuff to the exit. If you die, you warp back to the main hub. If you successfully make it to the exit, you bamf out with a bunch of goodies. It was neat. It's neat. I am going to continue to play it. It is really cool. I want to see how it works in multiplayer. I'm sure it doesn't, but I have to know. Also, welcome, Eddie.
Then there's the awkward thing of it's still a day.
Right.
It's a normal Tuesday.
Yeah.
Some things happen on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Some things happen on the first Tuesday of the month, which is why they usually do like the first thing, but it's after a full week. But in general, sometimes something has to happen on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it's a day when people have to put out real announcements or real publishing because they have to do things so many weeks after a thing. So anything that has to go out, people are like, is that for real? And we're like, yeah, we're a business. We're not like it just happened. Like we scheduled this weeks ago. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they held up on the Nintendo Direct for obvious reasons.
Well, they had planned that because, two.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, yes, you absolutely need to check out the snapshot. One of the dimensions you can get is basically Skyblock. And I know you are a fan.
A picture.
Ooh. Oh boy, a picture. I am excited.
I was telling you about.
Yes.
Those are supposed to be over there on that monitor but for whatever reason, like they are convenient, supposed to be here. Which their spacing is correct. They're just on the wrong monitor.
Yeah.
It remembered their XY location, but it remembered, oh, they're on device 0.
Yep.
Or device 3. But Windows, God bless their souls, 35 years later, still does not have good multi-monitor support. They barely only had tacit support for 2 monitors. The fact that they support 3 is like witchcraft. Randomly, when I wake my computer, it total random roulette if it remembers which monitor is 2 and which is 3. Fences, for whatever reason, some of the fences get saved to device ID blah 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 blah. Some of them, for whatever reason, get saved to monitor 2.
Yeah.
Do you see the difference there?
Mm-hmm.
There's other fences on that screen. They stayed there, but those 2 decided to stay with monitor 2, which is now the TV.
And it's extra frustrating because of hardware differences. Not each manufacturer has the same behavior when your device powers off or sleeps or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the same issue I have with my vertical monitor over here. I swapped one of the new bigger ones over here for the vertical monitor, and I absolutely love it as long as I never, ever, 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 ever turn it off, because everything forgets where it is. Because it disconnects and the other ones don't.
There's settings in Windows and also settings in Ultramon that's like, remember, that's like, it's whether or not it goes to deep sleep. If it just goes off, Windows can still has monitor, just the physical display is off, but the device is still on, so monitors can stay over there. When it goes to deep sleep, it disconnects, and Windows like, oh, you don't exist anymore. Let's take everything that was over there and move them to a monitor where you can see.
Yep. That's the problem I have. When I power mine off, it disconnects.
Yeah.
But the other two do not. They just go to sleep. They power off the screen, but they do not disconnect.
My third monitor is a TV. It, with no input, has a 4-hour auto off, which I leave enabled because sometimes I walk away and I don't always turn it off. Sometimes when it goes to sleep, it goes into soft sleep, and Windows does not freak out. Sometimes it goes into, it turns itself the fuck off, and Windows freaks out and moves everything over.
Yeah.
And it tries to put it on other monitors randomly. But if I just turn it on, everything goes and re-expands back to where it was. Because it saves a position of where things are when you have 3 monitors, and it saves a position for when there are 2 monitors. I get the reasoning behind that, but I hate it.
Yeah. I understand having to put something on a device that's there, but put it back.
Well, it's remember where if I had this open on the big monitor, put it over there, and it's because laptops.
Yeah.
You disconnect, you want them to go back to your main screen so you can see them. When I plug back into the dock and I have the monitor, put the things you knew that were on the big monitor back on the big monitor. You're like, oh, that makes sense. Until you look at my use case and you're like, why is that dumb? You're like, because the other thing, you're like, oh, that unfortunately also makes sense.
Yeah. That would work perfectly for any other setup.
But I'm not a normal human being.
You are not the only one.
Monitors. Most people don't have 3 monitors.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand how they function without it, though. Like you got me hooked. I don't get it anymore.
Not only did I get him into the 3 monitor club, I finally converted him to the vertical monitor club.
I have my small complaints with that, but that's my own fault.
What?
1080 is too narrow. I need a higher resolution display.
Yeah.
Because when I have a window over on my right, it's narrow. So it behaves like it's narrow.
Yes.
No,
I used to either just things over there. I would run them at like 90% zoom, so the functional window would be a hair bigger than 1080. Because all the websites are like, oh, if you're smaller than this, you must be on a tablet. We're gonna do shit differently. It's like, no.
This is my complaint. I'll send you a screen cap of my.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yes, there are solutions for it, but grouse, grumble, complain, whine, moan. Anyway, yes, you absolutely need to check out the Minecraft April Fool's snapshot. I think you will love it. And the direct was pretty entertaining. There was some cool stuff in there. I'm not getting any of it because it costs money and we don't have any. Although
it looked interesting.
GameCube,
I will say that.
GameCube coming to Virtual Console.
Yeah.
That
right there. They're going to sell. They're going to sell out of those controllers, and they are going to sell a crap ton of Switch 2s entirely, and Switch Plus Online Ultra Deluxe.
Yeah.
entirely for that.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And you know what pisses everybody off? Wind Waker.
Yeah.
They were promising they were going to do an HD remake of Wind Waker, and they said it was coming, and then they dropped this. And the worst part is, it's the GameCube version. It's the original, unadulterated, probably with rewind, if they can even do rewind on a GameCube, but it's the GameCube version, not the Wii U version with all the quality of life fixes and the bug fixes and all the other little things where they're like, oh, hey, this was dumb in the original. We just rewrote that entire thing so it's not an issue because, yeah, we realized that was dumb.
Yep.
They did not port that version backwards. It is the straight, because, surprise to no one, the Nintendo Online things are just emulators. They are literally a signed emulator ROM, an emulator package, and a ROM. They are straight up .NES files on there, and people have proved it.
Yeah.
And in one case, they got busted because they used an illegal rip they just grabbed from the internet because nobody could find the original cartridge to dump at the office. They're like, just go get one.
Yeah. It's wild, man. It's wild.
So it's gonna be the GameCube version, and people are
distraught.
All the games that
people are distraught. But the thing is that I understand why they are distraught, and they are not wrong, but even the people that are upset are still so thrilled because it's something, and it kind of attests to, like, the, I don't want to say content starvation, but, like, the Disney vaulting. Nintendo is getting into the business of Disney vaulting their games.
No, I don't think that. The Disney vaulting was an actual sort of weird legal copyright thing because by vaulting it, they could take it out of the vault. And two things happen. When you put it in the vault, you don't have to keep manufacturing. You don't have to make it available, but you still own the copyright, so you can enforce, copywriter stuff. And then you create artificial scarcity, which drives demand and stuff, especially when they announce what they're vaulting, which gets stuff out of the pipeline. And then when they unvault it at special occasions, that's artificial hype over a thing that just has existed.
Yeah.
In addition, every time they unvault it and they release, the
updated version,
that refreshes, that resets the copyright because that is a new launch of the same material.
Yeah. It's gross.
That's bullshit.
It's gross.
No, I think Nintendo is entirely just. I want to say this with love and respect and as much bowing as I can do over a podcast. It's a generational cultural thing. Nintendo HQ at the upper levels are run by a bunch of old Japanese businessmen that operate in a certain way. And this is not a Nintendo problem. This is a problem of most companies that are primarily Japanese headquartered and operated, because Square Enix has the same problem.
Yeah. That is true.
As much as they are a Japanese company, they operate mainly in America. Let's be by volume, and they operate as a Japanese company. And there are certain cultural things that they do that when you understand the cultures of the Far East, which never made any sense in any time period if you really think about it. But it's understandable. I see it and I understand it, and from their point of view, you're like, yeah, every bit of that makes sense. You don't live in that world anymore.
It doesn't really exist in that state anymore. Yeah.
And the what do they call them? The physical CD keys, whatever
the key cards, key cards. Yeah.
It's just a CD code.
Yeah.
It's back to having a key code on a piece of paper along with your CD. It is just a key code for a digital download.
Yep.
It's a physical key code dongle for your download to prevent people from ripping them. But you can just download it without that directly from the shop and still rip it that way. But if I'm going through the hassle of buying a physical thing, sell me the goddamn cartridge. You're inconveniencing me the worst of both worlds with no benefits.
Yep.
There's no physical benefit other than having a shelf trophy. Some people like the cartridge, but like that's it.
Some people want the cartridge to have the game on it because their internet connection is not always.
Right.
You know? What if you're playing someplace I can't get to the servers?
Well, no, you can still download it then. It just...
Not if I can't get to the servers, I can't. That's what I'm saying.
There's free Wi-Fi at like stores and other locations. You can download it there and then take it and you just unlock it with the cartridge and it unlocks with the cartridge. The thing is if your Switch is offline, you don't have internet, after a period of time, your digital store downloads, the authentication token runs out.
Yep.
And you can't launch anything unless it can really reach the internet to like refresh that you still own these in case they were revoked or, you know, they were rentals or whatever.
Exactly.
But with the key card, that eliminates it because your authentication is that physical thing. So there's a one narrow use case that makes sense. But it's still dumb.
Yes. Tremendously so. And this is assuming that they use the key card as a disconnected validation method.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
I had not verified that yet, honey.
Yeah, there's a spec page on the Nintendo thing that like explains it, like, and this will work even if you're offline. And like, oh, okay, that's what this is.
They sign your download with the other half of the key.
Yeah, it's
still
it's the software dongle. It's just it's a physical authentication token, is what it is.
Still, grouse, grumble, grumble. But
time to jailbreak on it.
You know, I was thinking
48 hours.
I was thinking with what they've added, it's going to be stupidly fast. With all the new stuff they're trying to do with it, it's going to be ridiculously fast. But by what I've seen on Switch and Nintendo's online services in general recently, their way to deal with that is they are going to have a much more immediate system deactivation policy.
Yep.
You will hear so many reports about people getting their systems remotely bricked because they looked at it sideways.
Yep.
And that part I'm not looking forward to.
And now, the second most controversial thing, to see about the pricing.
No, that I did not yet.
There was a group call with some podcast group. I don't remember the name. JP was showing clips of it. But they had one of the former Sony executives on the call because he got out of the executive business in just gaming advocate and stuff and analyst and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was on there and he mentioned the price and stuff. And they mentioned the price. It's like, okay, that's great. But what's the price in Japan? And someone's like, oh, it's only about 50,000 yen. Like, oh, that's incredibly cheap for what this is. That's about $300. Which is, you know, that's about a launch price of a decent system. I'd expect, you know, most video game systems were $300. That's about the and then you release the pros or the mega versions, you know, the upgraded ones at $400, $450. You know, that makes sense, right? The US price, $450.
I see. Bless you.
Because cost of shipping
and tariffs.
Which that's why all the prices were notably not in there, is they think they edited it and scrubbed all those out because they probably recorded all of that and edited it and recorded and re-edited it a million times over the last however long they've been making this. And then things happened in the world politically, and they're like, oh, we don't know what the final American price is. It could be whatever lands on the dartboard this week, so let's scrub the prices out and not bake it in the video, because we may have to change that on a whim.
We won't commit to that pricing because we aren't in control of it anymore. We have a finite amount of sway over how much.
And they're wondering how region locked are the Switches going to be.
Yeah.
Probably not any. They may default to another language, but you can easily just change the language in the menu.
Yeah.
We know the Switch carts were not region locked, but there were region specific versions of a lot of games, but that just defaulted which language.
Yeah.
Like if you get the UK version, it had French and German on the cartridge, and it would ask you which one. If you got the US version, it just only had English, but it was the same game. But you could play. It had all languages on it. But they're saying if the Switches are not region locked, there's already people like planning flights to go to Japan for launch weekend to buy them and fly back, because that will be cheaper than the difference in price.
It's alarming, ain't it? It is alarming.
If you an international flight to Japan to pick up a couple Switches is cheaper. That's insane.
It is. It is.
That, oh my God. Just.
Oh, and Deltarune, yeah, Toby Fox just kind of casually strolling in and being like, by the way.
And Silk Song.
And Silk Song. I'll believe that one when I see it. I did see it, but I still don't believe it, yeah.
The Silk Song News YouTube channel.
No,
every
I did
day
not see
they posted
that,
a video like it is now day 1538 since the announce of Silk Song. Today's news. There is no news. That is all. And they have faithfully done that for 4 years.
That's amazing.
Or whatever. And then they just like lost their shit. And they're like, we have updates! Oh my God! There's Rams! There's Rams! That's why it took so long! There's Rams!
Also,
yeah. Go on.
No, you first. I insist.
If people don't know, Silk Song is the sequel, follow-up, second chapter. It's kind of, we don't really know at this point, to a very popular game that I'm just blanking my mind. Oh my God, why can I not think of the rest of the god? Because
me too. It's one of those titles, though. Yeah.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight, which is platformer, not quite Metroidvania, but action platformer slashy thing. Really great game, real beautiful game. Came out years ago, and it was 4 some years ago that they announced the sequel, which had been a while after Hollow Knight had come out. Hollow Knight's a really good game. And they just sort of put it out that they were making it. They announced it coming soon and then didn't. But, you know, also the world was kind of busy for the last 4 years or so.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
So it's kind of understandable. But Deltarune, or not Delta, no, Silk Song is basically becoming the new Half-Life 3.
Yeah. It's been promised for so long.
Well, we're never getting Half-Life 3.
I disagree. Well, okay. I'll clarify. You and I are never getting Half-Life 3.
No.
It will not happen in our lifetime.
Nothing they could make. They've even said, like, at this point, nothing they could make would live up to the hype and the expectation. That generation of game developer and that group of people that made that story just do not exist anymore. That culture, that group, that camaraderie does not exist, and they cannot recreate that.
Yeah. And it's a rough situation to be in for them. So that's why we aim low. Speaking of aiming low, I want to talk to you later about one of our new projects, and by our new project, I mean my thing I'm just doing under the radar. But that's an offline thing for later.
Yeah.
Um,
We need to have a number of those conversations, by the way.
we do, we absolutely do.
Yeah.
Ultimate Clubhouse games. They tried to just sneak that one in there, but Ultimate Clubhouse games with online multiplayer. I'm gonna make y'all play so much Koi Koi. Oh, you're gonna hate me.
I think they're really pushing the multiplayer aspect because that has largely been the what's the term for it? There's an evolved version of couch co-op where it's online couch co-op. Like you can see you're on.
Did they have to
Zoom
make it
co-op.
Zoom meetings though? We went to the same place.
The thing is, in this situation, it's good to see your friends' faces and reactions, just like you were sitting in the same room.
Yeah.
At small scale.
Yeah.
When you're actually doing something and not just when you're all interacting and not one person is interacting and 5 to 20 people are listening.
Yeah.
That's when Zoom sucks. I don't want to stare at 20 people's eyeballs.
Yeah.
But if we're all doing something, it's no longer presentation. It's we're all in the same room.
She's gonna do it again. Here she comes. You
swear,
guys don't have quite the same angle because they don't have the wide view. They can't see me shoveling her over to the chair and her jumping off the chair back onto my lap.
Your video just looks like a looping gif of you just cat.
It does.
Just throwing the same cat over and over. You're just pulling this never-ending bag of cats.
The thing is, man, if she finds a good spot, she's more than welcome to sit here. It's that she keeps finding a bad spot where she starts to fall off, so she grabs on real tight with them claws. It's like, no, if you can find a flat enough level surface to lay down, you can lay here on my lap. Absolutely. I have no objection with that in principle. It's when you try to remove pieces of me that you get yeeted off into the chair. The special chair. The additional chair I have in my office for the cat with a blanket specifically for the cat on it. You know, the cat chair. I love this child so very much.
But yeah, I think Nintendo's really going after the actual real multiplayer with friends and not just this is an online game and there are other people here that I may be shooting at that may or may not be bots, but I don't really care. There are other moving entities.
They're focusing
you're
on
playing your Halo. It's not Halo. It's COD. It's not just another person there. It is I am doing a thing with my friends. They are tokens on the board. We are playing an actual cooperative experience versus an online experience.
Friends with games as opposed to games with friends.
Games with friends opposed to games with other people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times in matchmaking, a lot of the more modern games, you don't do things with friends. You might all be in the same lobby, but you just like, okay, we join together, but we're just in the same free for all.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that. And that is really on brand for Nintendo. I will say that's like they have always attempted to focus on the personal aspect of gaming.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's been successful, that's always been something real high on their priority list. And they are still embracing it, and I am thankful for it. I'll never take advantage of it because you are my friends, but the point is... I don't know. There was some neat stuff in the Direct. I am absolutely going to make you guys play Koi Koi with me, at least occasionally. I love my Hanabuda cards.
What was that game we played on the first Xbox? I remember it was a bunch of mini games. It was like bright neon colors. There was like orange and green teams, and there was the mini game where you were running around the giant hamster ball.
Yeah, the Mario Party without any of their IP. I know the one you're talking about, and I can't remember what it was called, but I know the one you're
Yeah, it was
talking
like
about.
Mario Party meets Jet Set Radio. It was like some futuristic, like
Yeah.
crazy bullshit.
They wanted a party game because they thought we could make Mario Party, and they forgot that Mario.
What's the game on the
Fusion
original?
Frenzy?
Yes.
Yes. It took me a second, but I was like, I know I got this. I know I got this. Man, oh man. Man, oh man.
So we gonna make my rock paper scissors game?
You know, I saw that message and I have not stopped thinking about it all day. I like it. I like it. And it's painless.
Oh yeah, it's more a proof of concept for like the back end technology.
Yeah. We could burp that together real easy. Famous last words, knock on wood, but I think we should. I think we should. And if you need further justification, which you don't, but if you need further justification, we use this concept as research into how we want to deploy platform backend stuff going forward.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the perfect use case for this, is figuring out, oh, hey, we found a better way to do this than what we're doing currently.
Well, I had... Okay. Disclaimer, I did not play these games at all, and I only tangentially aware of this concept. One of the Digimon games, I'm pretty sure it was Digimon. Pretty sure it was one of the Game Boy games too, because those were real big for a long time. You could throw away items into this live stream data. You just threw them away into the internet.
Yeah.
You did not just discard them. You threw them away into the data stream. Other people, because this was a sort of online game, could every so often scoop fish, collect from the pull something out, and you got a random item, but it was something somebody else discarded.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where like I was inspired by that. And then I was reading, for whatever reason, I'm still following the Subnautica subreddits, which I really need to unsubscribe from them. But they were talking about like towards the end of the game, you can launch a bottle, let's call it, time capsule. You write a message, you throw some items in, it goes off to the servers, and when you start a new game, it pulls some out of there and plops them in the world, and they're unique identified, and it is actually somebody else wrote it. They're not just bullshit AI generated. They were from people playing the game. And they filter out what items, so you don't put like certain end game items in it, which is like ruin your entire progression. But here's some extra bottles of water. I kept always having thirst. I hope these find you well, but they're from other people. So this idea of like an asynchronous, like I am just putting stuff out into the world and somebody else receives it, and there's a total disconnect between the two parties.
Yeah.
Kind of has me like I almost pitched this as an idea for Let's Cafe. Is you could items you did not want, you could put in a donation box, and they would go away, and you would get half the cost of selling them back. You get half credit for them, but they would go in a package up to our servers and sit there, and then at the beginning of your day you could like put in for an order,
what's in the Misfit Markets box. Yeah,
you would get a box of stuff from the server, and it would pull one down, and you would get a box of, oh, here's some lettuce and some beef patties and a bun. It was whatever you didn't want, you did not discard.
Yeah.
When we were removing the sell back feature, it's like, okay, like, because we originally removed it where it would sell back to the store. Like, no, let's not put it back in the store. You'll still get the money, but it goes away. Like, well, what if they went into a bin, like your outgoing recycling bin?
Yeah.
You could take it back out, but at the end of the day, it got emptied. you know. And I pitched that, and like we just didn't have the stuff set up to do it, and it was like it would be some work and stuff, and there was server stuff going on at the time, and it's like, oh, you know, but it's gotten back into my head, and it just popped into my head randomly the other night as I woke up, and it just was the whole rock paper scissors thing was like all of these are just one-way items.
Yeah.
They're blind boxes generated by other people, but it's a one-way process. What if it was a game in pause and you could play the other part back? I don't know.
I have some related thoughts to that, but they're really goofy ones that I need to write up in our incubator.
Yeah.
Guess by mail, it's like chess by mail, except you can't see the board because you're just playing a move in a game. You pick a square that you think a piece is on and where you think it should go, and following a given set of rules, it makes the closest possible move to that.
Chess by committee. A board is presented. You put in, I want to move this piece here. I want to move this piece here. As soon as at least
a quorum.
After a majority of the people have voted, have made the same move, that's the one that goes. It's not in particular one person's move, but enough people by ranking, like enough people have voted, this is the one. Twitch plays chess. I love this shit.
Cucumber mint?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's two problems with this.
750 grams of sugar.
Yeah, I realized that the other night.
I'm guessing.
For the whole bottle, 35 grams.
Yeah.
Not outrageous, but
It definitely in the could be better family, yeah.
For 28 ounces, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
And it does got a bunch of other vitamins and stuff. It's not just sugar water. It is like electrolytes and stuff. But it is delicious as hell. But it is one of the few of the refresher things that are not zero sugar.
Yeah.
Also, the other problem with it is it doesn't come in gallon size because I could just drink this shit. So I need to learn how to make infused fruit water.
Yes. We absolutely do need to figure that out because cucumber mint is one of those flavors I absolutely love and very few other people do, and that's why it's tough to find the zero sugar variety. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I need one of those. I need one of those. I know what I'm getting for dinner tonight. A bottle of sugar water.
Speedway?
Yeah, I think I might have to. Speaking of dinner, can we talk about food for a minute?
Yes.
The ham sandwich is back at Arby's. You can get the ham and Swiss again. Aw, yes, ham and Swiss. I got one last night, and I ate about 3/4 of it because every animal in this house swarmed me for it. Now, I'm used to that with roast beef. They're into roast beef. They'll come chase you down. They'll yell at you and be like, "Hey, I want some of that." But this was a frenzy. This was piranhas. This was shark-smelling blood. Yeah.
You have to eat in the bathroom.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go, eat outside or in the attic to avoid the animals. Just
you have an attic?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The ladders that I could never go up.
Yeah.
We used to send Steve up in the attic because he was the only one small enough to not collapse those that stairs.
Now, I've been up it recently. It's holding together, and it's stronger than I thought it was, and it's just a little bit spooky, as attic stairs tend to be. Pull-down attic stairs, at least. They're not They never feel secure. You cannot build those in a way that feels secure. Otherwise, you just have another story on your house.
No. You can. They have a better design for how folding attic stairs can be done that don't suck.
Well, then
it took 400 years for somebody to be like, oh, let's not do that the dumb way.
Yeah, this ain't. I don't even want to think about it. But yes, I will need to hide away and tearfully just shovel food into my face as fast as I can so I don't get attacked for it.
If only there was some sort of slab of wood technology we could attach to bending hinge-like metal to seal off one room from another.
Yes, which is why I'd be eating in the bathroom. It has a door I can actually close. The problem with my office setup is my office is set up in a way where closing my door is not as simple as pushing the door closed. There are many problems here, and yes, some of them are in how I opted to set things up, but some of them are just inherent to the house itself. Like, I understand the layout of the house, but man, let me tell you, as someone that does a bunch of stuff on computer and also streaming and all of that stuff, there's not a single room in this house where the convenient place for the computer is opposite a window.
Like with the window behind you?
Yes.
Why would you want that?
So that I'm not looking out at the sun.
Yeah, but then you're fighting light on your monitors.
I see what you're saying. Also, the lighting in this house is just with and without windows.
What you need is you need to put your computer facing that window, like where your work desk is. You get sheet of cardboard or foam or something. Make one side white I don't care if you tape paper to it, but put it in the window, like but then tilt it back. So the light will come in and reflect up. So all the light coming in will come in at an angle, reflect up into the room and off the ceiling and illuminate the whole room. Prevents blinding light from coming in. Also prevents like any of the weathering and stuff, and just so it's dark in front of you, but the room is still lit up, which will evenly fill around you.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that I have a black ceiling in here, but I love it so much. I know it does not help with the lighting, but it's so damn pretty. I like it. That's what I'm saying. I like it.
Your Jackson Pollock / Bukkake wall back there is okay.
It is exactly the way I envisioned it being. I like it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's like White Castle.
Very unique aesthetic.
It's like White Castle. It's one of those where I am not even going to pretend it's objectively good. I love it with all my heart.
Oh man, I would love White Castle.
Same. Hey, you have the internet. You should see where there's one at. Where at there one is. Don't use prepositions to end your sentences with. Closest one is like Toledo, huh?
They actually yeah, I'll allow this time. I don't fucking care. For the love of God.
I'm trying to look for the closest something to me. Yes, please. I would like it if you used my location. That way you'll know where the to me is, even though you're going to get it wrong. Just do it. Do it.
Woodhaven, Michigan.
So, 2 2 hours, 2.5 hours, roughly, I assume.
Okay, so the problem is there's stuff in Michigan that, depending on how they do their math, is crow flies across the lake closer.
Yeah.
Not taking account you have to drive around a lake.
Yeah.
There's a bunch down in Columbus.
Fair.
Okay, so there's a ton up in Detroit. And there's a handful down in Columbus, and there's a ton in Cincinnati. Surprise. And there's a ton over in Indianapolis, too.
I think maybe Columbus would be the better bet. Just jump on the freeway going south and.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I also wonder if it's a. Let me actually. We might be able to hit one outside of, like, without having to hit Columbus proper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, where's the
Combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell?
No. Where's the IKEA?
Oh, where is the IKEA?
Because I know it's not in Columbus, it's north of Columbus.
Yeah.
Like, it's significantly norther of Columbus. They're near enough on the map. I see Sunbury on the map while I'm looking at the IKEA thing. That's where the... Oh, that's like down the road. That's like...
Oh, well, hey. Well, hey.
Dude.
Okay. Maybe we should make us some plans soonish. That does not look like a bad idea. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. Why are we talking about this? I'm so hungry now. Can we hit it?
There's a Ponderosa in Columbus.
Ooh.
Like an actual Ponderosa.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's on the south side. Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, it's like it's a bit of a drive from where. Oh man.
Yeah, I smell a day trip at some point in our future here. I am going to have to start figuring this out and planning it.
There's a feature I want map services to have, or for trip planning. I want to know the weather, but not at a location. I want to know the weather along my path.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to know the weather where I'm at now, because I'm leaving here now. And I don't necessarily need to know the weather of where I'm going to be until I'm there. But I want to know in 15-minute increments, starting now, plot my location along a time path and query the weather at those points along my path. If I'm going to be driving a diagonal line southwest across the state, that weather pattern coming, that perfectly horizontal east to west moving storm, is going to interact me at different weird points.
Yeah. You will be moving with it, even if it's not moving in exactly the same direction as you, or against it. Yeah.
It's an intersecting of two lines, but
yeah,
where on that? It's a geometry problem.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't have that. And it's easy enough to do. Like, okay, I know where I'm at. I know where I'm going. I know approximately speed limit, Google Drive time directions at any given portion of this progress bar. Where am I going to be at? Sample the weather there. You know, at 25% through your trip, you'll be approximately here. The weather is going to be this.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's a storm coming, but you're going directly into it. You're going to pass it quicker than it's going to hit you. You will drive through the rain, but it will not be rainy when you get there.
Yeah. I think one of the big concerns is the unreliability of weather forecasting at other blah 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 blah. I know you just want an idea. You want an idea.
Well, we live in Ohio. We have all of the weathers. We have to plan accordingly.
Yes. You wear your swimsuit under your snow pants. No. Don't jump over here. Sarge is very much attempting to get over here. There she
Sent
goes.
my child to school today in a dress, and she's like, "But it's so cold." And I'm like, "Yes, but this is Ohio, child. It is going to be 65 and sunny when you get out of school. I know it is. You can see your breath and it is barely above freezing, and there's frost on the car. But rapidly here, it's going to not be that."
Yeah. If it's so cold, we will add a layer. Just remember, you're going to have to carry it with you when you come home. Dress in layers is the advice, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
We're at about break time, so I think we're going to take a few and run to the bathroom. I'm going to take this cat and gently
teach it to fly.
Gently pick her up and love on her with all of my heart. We're going to take a few-minute bathroom break here, run some ads. Thank you guys for sticking around. We will catch you in just about 5 minutes. Don't you go anywhere. You stay right here.
Pop-Tarts.
Welcome back to the Blue House Bull Session. Happy to be here bulling with you back on Wednesday, the 2nd of this month. April. Wednesday, April 2nd, right? Let me double check that. 2025? I have no idea when that happened. I know, yes, after 2024, I am well aware, but still, back in January even.
3 months ago? 3 months ago?
Yes. So, I have this problem with one of the projects I'm working on. One of the ones I'm not supposed to be working on that we need to talk about later. In that, it's already got a very, very devout fan. And I so very much want to share more details with this person. But due to the nature of what we're working on, I also want to go completely silent about it, aside from saying it's still going. Because the premise is the experience, right? Also, hi, and thank you for the subscription. Sorry I missed you while we were on break. But, yeah, you get what I'm saying, though, you know? Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but at the same time, I want to spoil everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's a tricky balance. And this particular project is very much more prone to that because part of it is based around the surprise of the experience and not knowing certain things. And I've talked about it a lot before, so you can piece together real easily what it is by watching the VODs. But, like, the rest of them, it's like... Yes, yes. Okay. This is Project Arctic. Yes. Because with the rest of them, it's like, okay, the actual playing itself, you'll benefit knowing what to expect when you go into it, and you'll still have fun. Dungeon golf, okay, it does what it says on the tin. You know it's dungeon, you know it's golf, but the actual playing of it is good. You know, and the sushi project, like, you need to know what is in that to have any idea whether or not it's something you'd be interested in. But this one, man, I have added some stuff since I showed you on Monday. I have added some stuff, brother. I'm going to have to send you a development build.
I don't know. Sketchy link. Hey, here's a link to an executable. Check out my game.
Man, I had to do that to clink it for Multithon. Multithon was this past weekend, by the way. There are VODs up on YouTube and the Multithon channel. Go check it out. But we did a Zeldathon takeover segment, and she'd asked me if I could put together some pieces of control software in addition to whatever other madness I was going to do. And... Stay over there. I ended up in that situation where I had to, like, just send her this arbitrary zip file with an executable in it and be like, hey, I know this sounds like every piece of Discord spam you've ever received, but here's the new program I've been working on. Run this executable and tell me what your computer does. And
it doesn't sound in every way possibly horrible.
And she knew better. It's what we had discussed. It did what we wanted it to.
Yes.
It was just very interesting to have to do that again. Especially because we've had an onslaught of spam attacks of, hey, check out my new game recently in that particular community.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I promise I'm not hacked. You can call me on the phone and I will confirm it for you if that would help. I had to do that for something at work. I got to... Nope.
I am sending you a link. It's not spam. It is actually me sending you the suspicious-looking link.
I got an email from our IS team, our IT group. that says, hey, we'll need to remote into your computer later. We have a work order to remove some piece of something or other with a suspicious name. And I'm like, okay, I've gone through a whole lot of anti-phishing training recently, and while this message is originating from, ostensibly, someone I've worked with in support in the past, this message is sketchy as hell. Can you tell me who created the work order, give me a work order number so I can look it up, and confirm for me where this thing you're supposed to remove came from? And this individual, to their credit, was like, thank you for actually paying attention to that stuff and taking the time to check. I don't know the name, but it was created by the line of business manager as part of this process, but you can go look it up in work order number, blah, 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 blah. And in our experience, what happened is when you installed Chrome, you accidentally synced your accounts and it brought in a plugin that is now flagged. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
right, yes, perfect. That is exactly enough information. Here's my team viewer info. Go right ahead and connect to my computer. Well, heck yeah, thank you for the gift subs. Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Yay!
Heck yeah. So yes, be wary, be mindful, be on guard. Phishing scams are on the rise, dramatically so. I receive a ton of them. I've been bitten by one or two of them before in the past. I can't be perfect. Nobody's security is. Social engineering is always going to be the easiest way to damage someone's computer, whatever. Doc's coming back to see you. What's up? Oh, wait, I have a message from you I didn't see yet. Oh, good Lord. Oh, goodness. I hope you are okay. That is... I am sorry. I am sorry. I hope you are feeling better soon, and I hope they take good care of you. That's no good. That's no good. Poor Red. Can we get some hearts in chat for Red? Here, I'm going to put some hearts in chat for Red. How do I make a heart in the chat here? There's got to be one of those here. I don't think I have a heart. We'll use Jiggy's hearts. They're there and they're convenient. But yeah, phishing scams. Be aware of phishing scams. They are all over the place, and they are no good. Be mindful. Don't let your computer get hijacked. Don't run random executables from people you don't trust. Do run them if they're from me, but call me to make sure I send them to you first. If I tell you I don't remember, don't run it.
So it's that time of year when they're getting all the work orders in and they're doing repairs on the store. They fixed a water line access port over in Frozen in the floor. So there was a whole crew of people just in there literally jackhammering, right? And I don't know these people. I assume they work for the store. They could work for an outside thing, but they're in the store and they're just milling about and they're like, hey, can you unlock the register? We want to buy, some sodas. I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
But they're coming and going in the mornings and stuff. And it's like, okay, they're already in the store when I get there. Somebody else trusts them. That implies a certain level of implied trust I don't have to care about.
Transitive trust, yeah.
In the mornings, reset teams are coming in and they work for the store, but they're technically an outside company. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like how the post office is a government agency, but not. But in the mornings, there's an overlap where I'm left with the keys and I have to unlock the door to let people in. And these people show up at the door and I go to unlock it and I'm like, and just that hesitation, like, how do I actually know you're actually supposed to be here?
Yeah.
You're just showing up with a clipboard and a bag and a cart and a thing. And you could just be walking right in. Like, I have watched so many Deviant Olaf videos where, like, you just like, hey, I'm here to fix the thing. And I'm like, please don't be bad.
Are you?
It's like, I don't want to, like, hassle you, but, like...
Yeah.
And she sees the hesitation, and she goes, and she pulls like, and she pulls back her fleece, like, no, she's got the actual shirt that I'm wearing, which again is not, like necessarily you're supposed to be there, but like, no, you don't know me because I'm only here during the day. I'm here with the reset team, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know to look out for you. You know the right words to expect it, which again is always.
It's not exactly 2FA, but you're offering some measure of proof.
I am the front desk.
Yeah.
The store is closed. I am the front desk. There's one guy back in the meat doing whatever he does in the meat for 3 hours before the store opens, and there's a receiver lady way back in the docks, and that's it.
Yeah, you're at the point where you're ostensibly left in charge. You are everything there. Yeah. Such a funky way for that to be set up. But as we've discussed before on the show, there are many things that are funky about how that place is set up.
It came to me the phishing scam thing. Yeah. It's like anytime somebody calls me on the phone, they're like, "Oh, we're here from this company." Here's a fun thing. If you ever get bored, if you're one of those people that likes to pick up the phone and like answer those calls, which you probably shouldn't because sometimes they're probes just to see if the line is good and they sell those. But if you're like, people are like, loading dock, what slot are you in, or do you need the office?
Mm-hmm.
And they go, I'm like, this is the loading dock. If you're a trucker, what slot are you in so we can open the door, or do I pass you through to the office? Come on, I got stuff to do. And they go, sorry, and they click, and then that number won't call back because line got repurposed or whatever.
Or, well,
it's an internal number. They're not going to sell you on something,
You did kind of qualify it up front that this wouldn't be the case, but I was going to say, or you could be like me and just don't answer the phone. I know a lot of people who don't answer the phone for unknown numbers. I just don't answer the phone. If I see you called me and I want to talk to you, I'll call you back.
AT&T has a app program thing called Active Armor that you install that it's like basically a rootkit. It connects it interjects in your phone call process and can filter those out before it is there's special hooks. They can catch phone calls and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've got a database they ping numbers hey, likely scam call, or known telemarketer or whatever. I ignore those, but unknown ones I will answer because I don't know. I have a child. I don't know who's calling from what number. Could be, some aide just grabbed their personal cell phone and called the number that's on her book bag or whatever, not actually on the book bag. It's on her full, but just called from a number. So I always answer those. But if it says likely scam call or whatever, I'll mess with them because why not?
Yeah. There are a lot of things I have kind of mixed feelings. The thing is, if it's a telemarketer, I don't want to mess with them. If it's a crappy job to have, but if you're in that position, you're not doing it because you enjoy it. You're doing it because you need the money.
If it's actual telemarketing, no. Yeah. Because I've never done it personally, but I know you and a bunch of people have done that before. And I know, like you said, it is just a thing.
Yeah.
If you're literally calling in the most heavy, corrupted digital line that's being passed through 400 relays because you're calling from the bowels of Bangladesh in the most heaviest accent, and I can hear 700 other calls behind you, and hello, we are calling from telephone internet cable services. Dude, come on, you're not even trying.
Yeah.
This is your opening line is saying, "Hi, I'm a Nigerian prince," and you're just dude, you gotta build up to this.
The flip side of that is the same thing as the misspellings in the email. They are assuming that if you know fast enough, there's no way, and you're going to want out of there.
Yeah. the spelling, but like no company is called Telephone Internet Services Company.
Yes.
That's literally what they said. I'm calling from Telephone Internet Services Company.
Yes.
Not your telephone internet company.
Yes.
Like, just leave it vague. Like, it's like you can do better. We have the technology.
No. If they have to put any effort into tricking you, it means you're smart enough to find them out at some point. If they can do it without any effort, you're low-hanging fruit, and they go for volume. That's really what it is. It is a filter to see if they should even bother wasting the time on you. It's not that they don't recognize that they could make it potentially work better. It's that they just churn through more of them faster. And that's a way that they can use to minimize the amount of time they'll spend on someone where they have to work harder for it. 100%, that's what it is. It's still frustrating as hell, but 100%, that's what it is. That's the actual cause there. That's why they say things like, we are from your utility company. They don't even pick a name. They're just assuming that you'll either fall for it or you won't. And they don't have to try and convince you if you're going to fall for it right away. And if you won't fall for it right away, you're not going to fall for it. They might be able to trick you eventually with a whole lot of effort, but that takes time. They could make 7 other calls to 90-year-old people who don't know any better.
Yeah.
Modern business practices.
I'm terrified to go in tonight.
Is it going to be bad?
The inventory was today. And I wasn't there last night to, like, do one last pass.
Ooh.
Although, me with my super sense of smell has a wonderful new job role, not title, but new thing he has to do. I am in charge of coffee now, because apparently nobody else can be trusted to be OCD enough to keep the coffee tidy and sorted and actually managed. So I also, in addition to doing all of the cereal, which goes in nice, neat boxes, and all of the cans of soup, which goes in nice, neat boxes, and all the granola bars in nice, neat boxes, I have to go to the coffee, which goes in nice, neat bags.
Nice.
Apparently, they're just going to make me be in charge of things that there's a million of that nobody can bother to keep straight and tracked and inventoried. I spent 3 hours in the coffee aisle just unfucking weeks of mismanagement and putting stuff out. He's like, did any go out? And I showed him the cart, and I'm like, that's all the boxes that I managed to get onto the shelf. And he's like, how? And I'm like, by putting shit where it's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
I put it in the square hole.
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
No, that's the problem, is everybody puts it in the
square
hole.
hole.
The shelf is all square holes, so they just put it on the shelf somewhere. And it's like, no!
The circle. That's right. It goes in the square hole. That is one of the best videos I have ever seen on the internet. Right there. That was so well done. It was so well done.
Then that guy invented that shape.
Yeah.
Specifically to do like that weird specifically to do that because of that. It's like, no, it does go in the square hole.
Yeah.
I show you guys a fake sushi meal works sent out. Oh yeah.
I love those, man. At the day job, we still get simulated phishing emails, and they are rough. And it does tell you if you detected a simulated phishing thing when you hit the report phish button, because you are supposed to do that instead of just deleting it if it looks like it's a phishing email, so that IS has access to go in and pay attention, because it's going to catch somebody. It's going to catch somebody. We had a CTO that said out loud that they hate technology. It's going to catch somebody.
there's some lady somewhere in Africa that has a mobile phone with whatever local provider there is. I looked it up to, cause I'm like, this wording seems weird. It's in English, but it's not. It's in like this weird. It's we have Spanglish.
Yeah.
They have whatever the equivalent is of American Afrikaans Spanglish. It's African Spanglish, basically. Afrikaans in English.
Yeah. Go look at
emails.
this.
I'm like,
go look at this message. It's worth it. It's so perfect. Oh, it's so great. Oh, this is a masterpiece. This is.
Where's it at?
This is. It's in the Pan and Poe Discord in ye old chat. Bumblebee Zone.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a masterpiece, man. This is. Oh, this is great. I saw that face. You just read that line. It says it right there. Can I screen share this? I'm gonna screen share this. Y'all need to see it.
While you're doing that, anyway, her monthly emails of her billing thing, and every month I click on the link. There's like, forward this to the phishing email for the service, and I'm like, hey, you guys are. I know this isn't phishing, but there's literally no other contact email. I'm getting this lady's home address and her phone number and her billing information because you just put this right in the email.
Yep.
And you're sending it to me every month. I'm some guy in America.
Yeah.
Like, I'm being reverse fished here. I looked it up. It's real information. You're just sending me, and there's no way. And they said, oh, if you need to unsubscribe, I'm like, no. Like, if you need to unsubscribe, log into the portal and unsubscribe from your email settings. I'm like, you don't understand.
Can't. This isn't me. I did not create this account.
But my email isn't in their system as an account, so I can't even recover it. It's a separate email that they send the bill to, but it's not her online account.
Yeah.
She signed up for the actual online portal with her real email, but somehow they still have my email as a, like, they copied it to a field but didn't recopy it when she updated it.
Yeah.
So I still get her monthly billing statement email, but not her account. So I can't even subscribe. So every month I forward that email to their phishing thing.
Yeah.
And I said, we'll look into it. And they never do.
At some point, you just got to kind of reach out and be like, I'd like to cancel my service. Using the information you have.
Did I tell you about the cardio lab?
I don't believe so.
Cyrus has been getting an invite on My Health for the last 3 years to sign up to the portal for the cardiovascular something clinic over here. Go sign up, portal, register for 3 years. Every 90 days, they send him another email. Every 45 days. That's what, every 45 days. They send him another email to go sign up because they keep sending the same, your invite is pending, your invite is pending. And I can't cancel it because it's just an invite is pending. Finally, he apparently signed up because now I started to get appointments. And then, oh, your appointment is coming up. Your appointment is today. You have missed your appointment. You have 30 minutes to move your cube. Then we've rescheduled it. And it was on that, we've rescheduled to Monday. I looked up the number because they had the number of the office and I called them. Like, look, you don't know me. I am not your patient. I do not have, I have an email. You have a patient named blah, blah, blah. They have an appointment at this location at this time to see this person in lab 4. Okay. I'm not trying to fish you. I'm not trying to scam you. I am telling you, like, I have this in the email. That's why I have all this. all I want you to do is leave a note on there. It says, hey, when they come in, tell them their email in the system is wrong. What's your current email?
Yeah.
I don't want to know the email. I just want you to write on a Post-it note to do it when that person comes in. And they're like, wait, what? And they were so confused by the fact that I was getting this and I could prove going back every single one of these things. And I knew when their last appointment was. So it wasn't just like I got this one, like,
Yeah.
it's so hard to prove that I'm not trying to scam you or like identity thief somebody. It's like, no, I just want to stop getting this guy's email.
Yeah.
And they finally looked at like, oh yeah, there's, you know what? I can just remove your email entirely. And then when he comes in, they'll ask him for a new email.
Perfect. Yes,
like,
do that. Thank you.
Email on file. And they're like, this is so weird. This is happening. I'm like, this happens a lot. It's a part-time hobby. And I flip a coin, whether I'm an asshole and I just like cancel their appointments or I try to get their information fixed.
Yeah.
And this guy on this day happened to roll heads and I decided to be nice. And so he would actually get his appointment reminders. They're like, you have to have such an interesting life. And I'm like, I've had this email since 2000.
Yeah.
This has been my life for 25 years. It is a hobby at this point.
I've had this Gmail address since you used to have to get a beta key to get onto Gmail. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
I was a first generation invite.
Yeah, I am not as proactive about the ones that come to me as you are, but I should be. I really should, because I'm just tired of them.
Your name is slightly not as common. If they fucked up, that's on them.
Yeah.
Mine's at least finding out a lot more common of a last name, and yeah. And by some path, I may be related to some of these people.
I could believe that as well, honestly. I could believe it.
At least one of them I found out it was, because I went to go look him up look up the name on Facebook to try to like find them to send them a message or whatever, and they were friends with my uncle.
Nice.
And he's the one that was doing, but it may be because he's the one that was doing all the genealogy stuff years ago.
Yeah.
Like when Ancestry.com first started coming out, he got really into that and like rebuilding our family tree because we lost a bunch of information in a house fire, like when they were younger, and they lost like grandparents' records. So there was a whole chunk of tree that just like was no longer connected, and they were trying to like rebuild that. And then DNA happened.
Yeah. Speaking of DNA, 23andMe.
Yeah. I think that's who I went with. I don't remember.
Did you put in your deletion request before they sell off your data?
They can fucking sell it. I don't care.
I understand. I know enough people that are in situations where I would be much more cautious than you and I need to be because, to be honest, we are kind of in a position of privilege there. But the principle that it is something that now can happen should be absolutely horrifying. It is absolutely horrifying. You should be horrified by it.
Oh, I am horrified, but at this point,
yeah. That's a global you. That is the royal you. The royal we. We are not amused by this shit.
What sucks is for people like us that have been, we're not terminally online, but we have been on the internet since before there was internet.
Yeah.
Like we were on the internet before there was a World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Okay. So the fact that our information is out there and being sold is like, of course it is.
Yeah.
Like, obviously. Like, there's no. You know, it's like being a public figure, basically. Like, your information is just out there. You have no... But when you're recent to the internet and you're still skittish, it's, like, terrifying because you think it's about you. It's like, no. Nobody's selling your information. Nobody's trying to scam you. They are scamming whatever person is at the other end of this phone number that they bought off a lot of 10,000.
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
mm,
BBSs.
yeah, we remember having to find something on the web before there was a Google at all.
There was barely a Jeeves.
There was a Hotbot.
There was
There was an Alta Vista. If you were lucky, there was a Yahoo. Yeah, we're
and even a lot of those were. Oh, what was the that really curated like MOZ or whatever?
yeah,
That was like actually like curated and categorized and stuff.
good old
Yeah.
days of GeoCities and Angel Fire. Adding your 88 by 31 button to show what website ring you were in.
Oh God, web rings.
Oh man, I'm bringing back the memories with that one. I don't remember them either. Somewhere out there, there are posts from high school debate.
Guest books.
Oh yeah,
Guest books.
guest books and visitor counters. And RSS feeds back when everybody still had them.
They still exist.
Yeah, I know, but nothing takes advantage of them the way it used to. I can't say nothing does. I will say that
they're not exposed anywhere. They're back in. It's effectively what APIs are these days. They're just
the tooling around them
RSS
changed
and
enough.
JSON.
That
Yeah.
grumble, grumble, grouse, grouse. I don't know.
Podcasts are still all RSS.
That's true. That is true.
They are purely just RSS feeds you plug into a platform and they relay it out.
Oh man, yeah, all the fun stuff on Usenet. All the fun stuff on Usenet. Oh
Usenet
man.
still exists too.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
The thing is
None
that like
of the binary stuff doesn't exist anymore, but like it's all web based, but they're still there.
those to me feel like now they've got to be the better places to be because there's a barrier of entry. You can't accidentally stumble onto Usenet anymore.
That's kind of how before the big rebranding a couple years ago. I say a couple years ago, but it's probably been almost 8 to 10 years. That's how Reddit was for a long time.
Yeah.
You intentionally had to be there. You did not just exist, you know. The reason Facebook groups turn into the shitholes they are is everybody can just walk into those. And because you already have a Facebook account, so that barrier to entry is already gone. You don't not exist on Facebook and go to join a group. You exist on Facebook and then you find a group.
Yeah.
You get there for another reason and they just happen to be inside of it.
I'm with you, man. I miss BBS door games. I do. I know they have ways to do some of that stuff through the World Wide Web because you and I have discussed that they have services that run Star Traders, Trade Wars, whatever the hell it was.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had that one written in PHP.
Oh, God. That... and I broke the hell out of it.
Yup.
Because I knew the file names, you could go directly to them. Because they didn't gate it. They just didn't put a link on it.
Oh, man, Playing Lord. Oh, my God, Playing Lord. Yes. Legend of the Red Dragon. I spent way too much time dialing in every day to go take my daily actions. Oh, bless you. I'm so glad someone else remembers that too.
I think, like, it's kind of moot now because everything's on a touchscreen. But, like, that's how we learned to type. It was because of, like, MUDs and shit you had to type.
Yep.
You know, playing the old Commodore games like take rock, use key. That was better than fucking Mavis teaches typing because you had to know how to like type random shit, not like I am typing a letter and I am typing whole words and I am using it like a typewriter. It's like, no, I had to type commands.
You know, you got me curious. I think I'll add that to my list this week. I'm going to do some research and see if they made Trade Wars in PHP. Someone absolutely has to have Lord. I want to go find who's running it and play with it. That's what I need
somebody.
to do.
Yeah.
Booga. We should run our own. We'll stand up a spot on the Hergel website that just runs old BBS games.
Okay. I'm willing to put money that there's a Discord bot to do this.
If there
this
isn't,
whole thing already exists.
If there isn't,
it runs out of a Discord bot.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some looking. I'm gonna put that on my list for this week.
This is, I don't know if it's a completely solved problem, but this is a solvable problem that looks like something somebody could code, because basically it's just chat interaction, and that if you can solve the input output part of it, the rest of it doesn't matter what you write it in.
Yeah,
and somebody can just basically write a thin wrapper and run it around old shit very easily. Run some ancient dark magic Docker container to run a BBS just straight out of the original, X17 executables.
Yeah.
X6.
I'm inspired. We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna go find all the pieces and tape them together, and we'll do that. We'll offer something that not many other people are offering right now.
Dragon Discord. Found it.
Link me. Is that what the future direction of Hergel Studios is? We're just going to take all the old games and package them up in a new way and put them out that way? I mean, it already is kind of, but you didn't hear me say that.
I wonder. I do wonder, what the weird legality is about finding abandoned board games and turning them into as faithful as possible electronic recreations.
You cannot protect a game mechanic, but you can protect specific implementations of it. I have some cool videos to send you. But there are ways to get around it is the easiest way to say that.
There was you remember Fireball Island, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody it was something about, or there was a wind-up tornado thing that said at the top, and you were campers going up a trail, and there was safe spots and stuff like that. But if you drew the random card and you hit the thing, and a little tornado twister would come down and move down the fireball. It was literally, you could you look at that's Fireball Island.
Yeah.
They just changed the mold at the top instead of being a volcano to be this thing that holds the tornado. But it would just go down and knock you off. But it was a legally distinct tornado and not a rock, so it was not Fireball Island. It was a tornado that moved down a mountain, right? But it was supposed to be originally a licensed Warner Brothers thing. So the thing in the tornado was totally Tasmanian Devil, and then the licensing fell through, but they had all the artwork, so they just painted them purple and green. But it is not even Wish.com, we have Taz at home. It was straight up Taz, but just in a different colorway. And I'm looking at this game this would be if not for the physical giant 3D mold of a thing, this would be a great game to play with kids.
Yeah.
Played electronically, so you could still have the knockoff randomized, because it was random. It wasn't just it went through and knocked everybody off. It's it maybe knocked your character off, maybe it didn't, because it's just random spinning actual top. There's a lot of board games I see, I want to make this electronically because this is a game that seems fun, and you could just shovelware these into a game platform app and play kind of like UFO 50, like
Yeah.
just shovelware old board games that don't take a lot of time, but are hassle to play or due to physicality. But like, hey, I want to play a game and play a board game with my friends and it takes care of all the thing. And we just do the interaction and have it manage the token. Monopoly is fun when you don't have to deal with paper money and actually moving pieces. It's actually a fun game, believe it or not.
I have my own opinions, but they're distinct and very personal, so I will keep them
That's
to
because
myself.
you played Monopoly with me.
I have. It's not just you; it's the fact that everyone I played Monopoly with is like you, which is not a bad thing. It just means that I don't have fun.
Well, that's like saying I hate playing Halo because every time I play it, I get a tank dropped on my head.
That is also very true. I don't play multiplayer games online because I am so bad at video games that people tell me the game would be more fun if I left. I have had that happen enough times that I started to believe it. And now I play Minecraft. Because it's very rare that someone tells me Minecraft would be more fun if I would just quit.
Monopoly and Minecraft.
I don't know. There's potential there. There's potential there. You're onto something. What exactly? I'm not sure, but you're onto something with it.
It'd be like one of those like life-size chessboards, like people like you stand on it and stuff.
I was going to go the other direction and be like, instead of buying a property, you buy a chunk. See, now I've got him inspired. All it took was that phrase, and now I've got it. Now I've got it. He's got something going on. He's cooking. Let him cook.
No, Monopoly is already a product. It's the Minecraft-themed Monopoly thing. I think I owned it at one point. I think it's one of the ones I gave away. I had a really bad habit for a while there of buying very heavily themed Monopoly versions. But not just like, oh, look, we slapped our IP across basically still Monopoly. Like, it was heavily modified.
Yeah.
Like the Mario one, the railroads were the pipe network, and you could actually go to other places and stuff.
Man.
The Dungeons and Dragons clue looked so fun.
Yeah. By the way, I'm pretty sure you know this, but just in case you did not, Fireball Island is available on the Steam Workshop for Tabletop Simulator.
Yes, I know.
With the actual physics and everything. I just wanted to make sure, because I have absolutely downloaded it just so I could knock the fireball down the mountain and knock over pieces, or not, depending on how the ball bounces, because they actually bothered to do it right. They also have several versions of Mousetrap, but none of them that work, and that makes me so mad. Like, they all take this time to recreate the models so dedicated and lovingly, faithful to the board game, but at no point can you actually turn the crank or snap the plank or boot the marble right down the chute to watch it roll and hit the pole and knock the ball in the rub-a-dub tub, which flips the man into the pan. The trap is set. Here comes the net. Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. Yes, I had to learn the whole thing, and once I start, I can't finish. It's like a flame in response at this point. Hi, Sarge. So anyway, the important parts of today's show, to recap: go buy the new Nintendo Switch 2 so we can play Koi Koi together. Come play on my new Minecraft server where I will be installing the April Fool's snapshot from this year, which means we'll never be in the same world at the same time. Don't open any suspicious executable files you get from anyone except for me. Yeah, speaking of those things, I still have to figure out a couple things that might be coming up in the Zeldathon event coming up in June, which I will have more details on at our next show. It will be start of June, Zeldathon Voyage. We're themed around water and Wind Waker and all of that stuff. That's all been announced at this point. But yes, yes. We have ideas for what we want to do for that, and it's about time for me to dig my heels in and start working on all that fun stuff. Also, Heroes of Time coming up very, very soon. We have 6 weeks to that. I want to say that one's May. Lots of fun stuff coming up for a lot of my friends working in the charity space. I'm very excited to support and be part of any of them that I can, and shout out my friends even if I'm not able to do anything. So I will have a link for you, Fuzzy, on Friday to our sponsor rotator project.
Oh,
I really liked that idea, so I've started beating on that a bit, but I think that could be handy for us collectively.
you see, chat, Jason has this problem where he likes to start projects.
Yeah.
He just likes starting a thing because there's no impulse control to stop them. But I have this superpower where I can come up with an idea, but I can't get it started. But I come up with bad, horrible ideas, and I put them out into the void. And sometimes they just happen. And if I do it in the right direction, I just bait him into starting projects and getting them halfway done, and then he abandons them. And once they're started, I can finish a project, and I can keep any project alive once it's been started, and I can improve on it once I get past things. So if I want something to happen, I'll just bait him into getting it started.
And it came up because I've got the little sponsor rotator box up here, and Fuzzy once upon a time said, what the heck, I stream occasionally, I'll put those in there too. So when I update mine and put new files in the folder on my computer, his and mine get out of sync. And if they're time-based events, like when I'm promoting a charity event coming up or something, if those don't stay in sync, it's blah, 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 blah. So he makes this mention in passing that if only there were a way to do that through some service that we could all manipulate, but it was one central source of truth, and we could go in once a week and clean up anything that had already passed or add anything new, and both of us or whoever else wanted to could use our sponsor rotator, or heck, maybe make their own sponsor rotator that they could share with their team or group or Twitch guild or
Or just put it on a normal website, because it'll basically just be a website in a frame on OBS.
Exactly.
You just put it on a website and have it rotate there.
Exactly. And you can put it on your stream, or you can share it on wherever else you want to share things, or you just have access to, here are a bunch of promotional images I want to cycle through. Mm-hmm. And I want to share this particular collection of promotional images with anyone with this link that I give them.
And it'll auto-update because... yeah.
Yep.
It's either that or a shared folder in Dropbox or something, which was the other idea we were going to do.
Yeah, we gave some thought to that one. I just decided if it's a web thing, we don't have to set anything up aside from adding a source in OBS, no matter what we're running on.
Well, I mean, we could just still have a shared folder in any yield service and just point OBS to that folder.
Yes.
And then just trust the other person doesn't, drop in nefarious images.
Yeah.
Because that's effectively how the donation bar on Zeldathon works, doesn't it? It's just running on somebody else's web server somewhere. That's why they're always refreshing it.
It's running internally on our end of the network. There is a machine that is running that inside our network.
Okay.
But There are changes coming to that too. I have notes. We had a meeting yesterday. I have notes. I need to make some calls. I need to message Dino and be like, hey.
How's that go again?
That's me tapping on the glass of his enclosure.
Do not tap on glass. Do not feed developers after midnight.
Let me get a pumpkin full of ground beef to throw in Dino's cage for his engagement. Enrichment. That's what they're, yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Good stuff coming up, man. Lots of good stuff coming up. Lots of cool new projects in the works. Couple things I'm not allowed to talk about yet. That's always a good sign. I actually got involved in a couple things I'm not allowed to talk about yet. So, yes, as soon as we wrap up, Fuzzy, I'll tell you all about them. He's under friend EA.
Always do that.
Other side. He's under friend EA.
Who am I going to tell? The box is a cereal?
Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
Don't talk to anybody.
Well, you should talk to the cereal.
I don't have a line.
Like I said, you're my friend with whom I play games online, so yeah. Yeah, I think this sounds like a good point to wrap it. I think we are gonna wrap it up here for now. I'm gonna talk to Fuzzy for a few minutes and then go grab myself a bite of dinner. Maybe I'll ask the roomie real nicely if I can steal her car and go get myself some roast beef and a ham sandwich. We appreciate you all being here so much. Thank you for joining us on the Blue House Bull Session. We love you absolutely to bits. I should, fingers crossed, be back on Friday with music. And if nothing else shaken, we will see you next Wednesday right here. In the meanwhile, we're going to go shower some love on my good friend Delineate. Grade A1 8. Be safe, be well. We love you guys. We will catch you later.